when people become formal shells of who they used to be. I've been dancing a long time, I've been rapping a long time, I've been competing for a very long time. But the truth was that everybody who I was competing with lost motivation at a certain time. This is the story of how I got through the struggle of only competing with myself where all the competition died out. It all started in 8th grade, where I was previously known in 7th grade for being a dancing fool, and I can only keep the popular thing up for so long. 8th grade year comes along, and everybody tells me out of nowhere, hey yo, you're doing this wrong. A guy that became my best friend, damn near a superhero to me, and I was a sidekick like Batman and Robin, drove me to the side and said, you don't know how to pop and lock correctly. You have to be more composed. This guy was telling me you have to move around, you're a short guy. And he tried telling me that. In 8th grade year is when I learned what competition was. So basically this is the year where I realized that I've been held back for so long, but it's not too late to fit in, because the main factor was I learned from the previous year that you can't just keep going without improving. Eventually it's gonna get old. Eventually your moves are gonna die out. Every single thing that you do will eventually get old. So here's the thing. While I stay in my own little bubble, I was free expressive. How long you gotta keep this up? How long you gotta keep up not caring about your wardrobe? How long you gotta keep not caring about singing Japanese music in public? How long are you gonna keep not caring about not being able to consistently fight? You see, it's cool in elementary when you can swing randomly and win fights, but what happens when people specifically get trained in sports and not only have more stamina than you, but learn how to fight too, because everybody's fighting at the same time, not actually trying different strategies, you know? I used to be that one dude that would take what I'd see on TV and live it out. And people was like, where you get that from? And like, literally, I used to be fighting 4 people at once back when I was in elementary school, but I would always do dumb shit. Like, I always kick them every time they try to grab me and shit. And, you know, fucking grabbing arms and shit, you know, doing shit that you would only see in movies and shit. Because that's all I fucking learned because I was sheltered. So I fought like somebody you see in a fucking movie. Like, he wouldn't dare try to shit. You know, that's what stunt doubles are for, right? Okay, so anyway, 8th grade comes along, and this guy named Ben was a Samoan version of me. He was big because he was Samoan, but he is the exact same height and the exact same strength as I would be if I was a Samoan. So he drove me to the side. He tried to tell me like, yo, you need to stop embarrassing yourself. You need to get your fucking wardrobe because your shit's for shits and giggles. All your shit is an entertainment act at most, and the entertainment act is getting old. Basically what he told me. All you are, you're gonna be jealous of all these people. So here's what happens. Ben introduces me to a bunch of different styles of how to be, you know, gangster. How to be cool, like the popular kid done right. And then Ben backs us up with his actions by becoming one of the strongest fighters in school, getting all the respect from everyone else, getting all the girls like everyone else. And he's telling me, you need to become equivalent shinobi. So here's what happens. He clowns on me time and time again. He tells me why this doesn't work, why this works, you know. And I learned from him, but I also learned from a reunited friend named Justin. Justin is what made 8th grade year so multi-dimensional for me, because this is someone I knew in elementary. He saw how I grew up, and I was great. Because he got to see me in different areas. Oh, you may not be able to fit in with the guys who play sports, but you're able to fit in with some black girls, and you're able to fit in with some of the anime nerds, and even people who aren't like necessarily anime nerds. You can talk to them about punk rock and stuff. So I was always like, there was this guy from Boy Scouts that kept on clowning on me, and his name was Max Chance, like Goofy Movie, yeah. So Max was literally backing on the girl with the fattest ass in school, and he was trying to tell me, oh, you hella ugly, oh, the jokes aren't funny, oh, this and that. But on Boy Scouts, he was dick riding me, so he builds me up for this big ass reputation just to see that I'm basically a knock, basically. And basically, like a dud, like, oh, you're only a guy that was hyped off sugar for so long. Well, you don't know how to be an actual human. I thought you were an actual criminal. I saw you at your best, and I can't see you every day. It's basically what Max tried to tell me. So Ben helped me with my everyday style, and then it came through. There were some new guys in school that all were fucking making me jealous. Okay, first off, what I want to get out there was the thing that pissed me off the most was fashion. Here's what it was. It's like, hey, you like how white people are listening to rap just like black people? Yeah, it's been that way. So, basically, me being an anime nerd, me not caring about fashion, me listening to any fucking punk band I want, is basically one of my problems. But second of all, the other problem was this, The reason why I'm mentioning fashion and the reason why I'm mentioning that is because they want me to dress more hood, baggy jeans, and I dress like how I want to dress. I dress like somebody who you would basically see with a dog, A guy who comes from a good family. But the only thing I'm failing to realize is I'm black. I wore Napoleon Dynamite pants with sleeve shirts, and some of them had like random pictures of like people riding bikes and stuff. And all these people had shiny, baggy jeans, some dope-ass hoodies. So, and when these new guys come along, these white guys with dreads, literally, tell me everything, they start going crazy. They become the best dancers in school, and they also have the best wardrobe. And they're hella tall, and they're fucking twins. I'm like, fuck. So, me and Ben mob through school, and he's literally helping me out with everything, and he's literally trying to say, hey, you don't want to fuck with her. She's on like kung fu shit. People like Justin fucked with me anyway. So it all backfired on them. So basically like this. I made several videos about several people in the past, but the only one I mentioned in 8th grade was Justin. So Justin literally becomes a school dickhead and becomes the douchebag that everyone likes. And he gets aware of it because I realized, how is he getting able to hang out with all these girls and all those guys and be equivalent shinobi, but be that much of a dickhead? So me, I try to do my own thing and it doesn't pan out. And you know what that taught me? Adapt. That's all me in 8th grade was adapting. I learned how to dress, how to pop and lock, and how to be a top contender in school. That by the end of the 8th grade year, I got better. So logic hits me. I'm still kind of at a disadvantage, but not really. I go the fuck in the transitioning from high school, and then competition is still there because even though I was in a different district in junior high, I went to another district in high school, so the competition when it comes to dance was still very heavy. Very, very heavy. The only problem was they stopped doing that after a while, so I kind of lost motivation to dance. But, I would always dance to the street, always improving like on my own. So here's what happens. I realized something along the way, back where I become a grown man. Fast forward to this day. I remember where dance battles were my shit, and I had to do a whole lot of shit to fit in, and I was always at a disadvantage, but I always had like cameos to boost up. So my biggest problem was consistency. I kept it consistent my 8th grade year all the way to freshman year, but all the other years I fell off. But I had cameos of greatness, like I had Sexy Valentine, but guess what happened? She was my Valentine, but she already had a boyfriend. I had bits and pieces of, having hella girls, but it wasn't consistent, and it was just a joke at the end of the day. So in order for something not to become a joke, you have to be able to do it consistently instead of not doing it at all. That's like saying you can do that one trick, but you can't do it again. And even if you're trying to sell something like being a magician, you can't just do it one time and think you can only do it one time and keep consistently doing it is the only way people are going to take you seriously. So this was a very bad thing because I fast forward again to the Animation Rap League where I had a lot of competition. People like Black and Chaos, Cooler Luch, Philly Boy, and Kari Trigger, and that was all my competition. They all had better flows, they all had better punchlines, they all had better everything than me. But I kept up and I was equivalent by season 3, but my problem was they couldn't label me mid-tier due to not having consistent battles. What I would do is I would face the toughest of the toughest, but I would always get, ethered. Basically, because I was facing a stronger opponent. I would always fight someone one rank higher because every time I fought someone my own rank, they would get murked. So, they didn't know how to power scale me. So basically, I kept on fighting. I almost came close to being the champion. I almost beat a mid-tier. And I was known for being that guy to always lose while I always lost to the best people. I lost motivation during the season that would have made me the most famous back when it was in its prime. Basically, it was dying, but it was still going on. I could have saved the whole entire league and a little bit more passionate, but I was going through stress at the time, like not being able to get girls, being over 18 and still not losing my virginity. Stupid shit like that when you're young, dumb, and full of cum. So I was really wondering on that dumb shit when I had something really valuable. I didn't understand how valuable the Animation Rap League was until I lost my virginity and I became a whole new man and I realized what art is outside of pussy. A lot of people promote that. I'm like, well, you know what true art is? You're gonna love art way more than you love pussy. That's never gonna happen. But it will happen in the way that you will enjoy it more than someone treating you like a piece of meat, I'll tell you that. Like, if you fuck a girl that's not funny, all you're doing is pleasuring your dick, basically. But you can have a good laugh with some of your friends in the Animation Rap League. But guess what? By the time that happened, I realized they were all fucking virgins. I compete with fake competition because everybody had girlfriends, so I automatically jumped to conclusions that they were all having sex. That's what high school is like. When the Animation Rap League was there, I thought, oh, there's no excuse. All these people like anime and rap just like you. And they're fucking bitches. They're going to school, this and that. Little I know is the exact opposite. Yeah, they might be going to school and work, but are they pulling bitches? Hell no. It came with being an anime fan at the time. I didn't know that. I thought there was going to be a jack of all trades. Like how I became. I became a jack of all trades because in 8th grade they said that I was one-dimensional. But when I was in high school, they say, oh, you're still watching anime? You still don't have a girlfriend sophomore to senior year? Get the fuck out. You're a disgrace to our society. All you do is watch anime. Life will never be like anime. You will never get a girl. It's not that, oh, you fucking save her and everything turns out like Cinderella, like fucking anime. And I knew that. I'm the one who's stepping up my clothes. I'm the one who's trying to get better striker. I'm the one who started smoking weed. I'm the one who started doing this and that, trying to fit in and shit. And the meaning of this segment is to try to tell you that when I was heavy on competition, back when everybody knew what to do and I couldn't, is back when I felt like I faced the most competition. I realized that I was struggling to be something that nobody else was. But that doesn't take back from the fact that it was competition. You see, when you get older and you start hanging out with friends, you start realizing, yo, this nigga is full of shit. These people are full of shit, but it's better than hanging out with myself. I need to be social in order to catch a break. You have to catch a breath sometimes, and that's what being cool with people is for. Nothing to do with you being bored. You literally need to refresh yourself and reward yourself with some people who enjoy your company. That's what happens when you're an adult. But at the same time, you have to take what you can get. Some adults you hang out with don't agree with you on this part, but you can use them for other stuff. Not use them like abuse them. You use them literally for what they're useful for, the role that they play in life. If that's the guy that you need to talk to, there's some friends you can vent to and some friends you can have a good time with, and you gotta take what you can get. You're not always gonna have that precious everything in one pie like how it used to be, Not always gonna meet jacks of all trades, so sometimes you need to take people for what they are and not try to expect too much from people. Hey, can you do this and this and that? When you're best at this, you do what they're best at instead of commanding them to be a jack of all trades when they're really, really good at what they do individually. And when I grew up, I realized that everybody wasn't entirely full of shit, and I tried telling these people back in the Animation Rap League, I'm like, dude, we gotta revamp this dude. We gotta bring the ARL back, because I became a cosplay superstar at the time, and I started fucking with hella bitches. I'm like, dude, if I bring the bitches with the ARL, we can do something crazy. We can literally have a good fan base. We can promote the ARL. We can perform at conventions. We can do all that. But they lost so much fucking motivation, and they became more of a crowd worker than ever because they faked it till they made it. But they didn't exactly do that. You see, they still put in the work to be a good rapper. I don't care if you don't fuck bitches. I care about you because you're good at rapping, and I need people who can rap. And that's the thing I tried to tell them. It all goes back to what I said originally. Who cares if I can fuck a bitch? A bitch can't make me laugh. You guys can make me laugh, which breaks down you need to accept people for what role they play in life. But they became formal shells of who they used to be. I even tried to throw some at my homeboy Sabo, and he couldn't do anything because he was a fucking nerd. He had the same problem I had when I was in high school, and I was really disappointed. He gave me one of the best matches of my life, and he shut me down as soon as I tried to get him a girl. I'm like, yes, I finally get to share my new lifestyle with Sabo, but it wasn't what I thought it was. You see, these people, not just them, but the people I grew up in junior high, and my whole life have been keeping back how they felt about me in order to fit in. Like, Justin was a prime example of how the ARL treated me. Behind the scenes, he was literally my best friend. I could talk to him about anything, including Sly Cooper. But in public, he has to treat me like I'm an autistic retard. That's what you call being fake. And I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of this shit not being consistent. So here's what I do. Recently, I've proven to a lot of people that I can stay consistent when it comes to my lifestyle. I'm like, okay, you know why I have improved so much? Because a lot of my friends got out of jail and they didn't know what the fuck was new about life. So basically, they got out of jail and they're talking to me and they're like, dude, how can there be so many hot bitches at the conventions? I'm like, dude, it's 2016. Everybody likes anime now. Literally, everybody who I grew up with became a formal shell of who they used to be, and I figured out the most popular guy in school when I was going to high school is still a virgin. And I learned that all these people, even I was bitching about it when I was in my teens about why I can't get pussy, and now I'm seeing people 25 and older still complaining about why they can't get pussy. And these guys have been in full relationships and stuff like that. And it's really, really tough. It's really, really tough. And the worst part about it was, back when I was motivated for competition at these conventions, what happened was this. I became a cosplay superstar, but I was also an anime superstar in general for doing anime music videos for local rappers. So, when I met up this competition at this one con I was at, I'm like, okay, I still have a chance to prove what I haven't proved in junior high, because what happened was they introduced me to Asian people in B-Boy. One of my biggest problems, even when I was in junior high, a level that I haven't surpassed, what I surpassed recently but I wasn't able to do, was B-Boy. So I go to a convention and all of a sudden there's a dance and I start seeing people doing B-Boy. I'm like, oh, I need to step my game up. There's finally a chance for me to work hard on something and be in a competition. And that's literally what I did. Not only was I in competition, I made consistent for being a great dancer and a great anime artist. I came back with the quickness. And I got a gym membership so I can become a better B-Boy so I can match up the competition. But aside from that, everybody who used to be my rivals in junior high school, my rivals in the ARL, the Animation Rap League, my rivals who I even used to play sports with were all formal shells of who they used to be. They're still chronic rakers and they can't do shit about it because they didn't practice and shit, and they only practice in one specific area. There's some of them are still dancing, yeah, but are they a jack of all trades like me now? This is what happens when people become a formal shell of who they used to be.